What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're finally going to be diving into the S15 I imported from Japan. I got some special goodies that we're going to be putting on it, so stay tuned. Let's get into today's video. Alright guys, so as you know, I got this S15 all the way from Japan. It is a special car. I really like to drive this car. It's really fun to drive. Being that it's an S15 but also being an R Spec is a lot special because it comes with a lot of extra goodies. But one thing that the car didn't really come with was the aero package that it's supposed to come with, right? It does have the correct front bumper, but it didn't come with any side skirts, no rear splats, and the infamous rear wing that it comes with. So I had to source out the parts, overnight parts from Japan, which we got right there. We have to unbox them. I'll go ahead and get them unboxed, see what we got, see how they came out, and what we have to do. I'm sure we're gonna have to do a little bit of body work to make sure everything fits and looks good. But nonetheless, I'm really excited. And I think I got a little upgrades too for the brakes. These rotors have probably seen their better days. The front and the rear. Safety first, we want to be able to stop this thing. It's pretty quick, so I'm going to be upgrading that as well. So let's unbox the parts and see what we got. Alright guys, so we have all the parts laid out. Santa Claus came through this Christmas. He brought a lot of packages. We got them all opened up. Let me show you what we got. On the front end we have the front bumper. It's the Aero kit style. The front of this bumper is already there. The only difference that I can tell is that this has the provisions for the license plate and this one doesn't. That's the only difference, but pretty much the same body kit. Obviously, we have the side skirt that's going to go on this side. We have the rear splat that goes on this bumper itself. And obviously the infamous wing with the provision for the third brake light. That has to be cut and trimmed. Other splat, other side skirt. But that's not it. We got some more parts, courtesy of Santa Claus. Got some more parts for it. We have the rear rotors here that are drilled and slotted. Those are the factory ones that really don't have much performance. Maybe the pads are, but we have drilled and slotted rear rotors, front drilled and slotted rotors for the front, ceramic pads. We have that third brake light that's going to be going on the back of this, which is pretty cool. It's all LED, courtesy of Boosted International. We got this part. It looks like it was like a 3D printed part, and they integrated that, so we have to trim that, make that fit. We have a little carbon fiber exhaust garnish that's going to go in the back to kind of clean up the rear exhaust, kind of keep it a little bit separate from the bumper, clean that up. And we have like a front shroud, kind of covers up where the core support and the latch system is, kind of cleans that up, forces more air through the radiator to keep it nice and cool. So we got quite a bit of parts, and the last part, which I want to show you guys, is pretty cool. This little part is going to be the icing on the cake once it's done. An original Spec R emblem, which I will put on the back where they go on the trunk of the car. That'll finish up the car, give it that little touch. But we got quite a bit of parts to go through. First things first, let's kind of present the body kit, see how it looks, and get the idea. The one thing I'm gonna have to do, obviously, body work, kind of prep it, get it ready, primer it, and get a color match. So let's try it out. Just a really rough mock-up of what it looks like. This wing looks really cool. I don't think I've ever seen one in person with this wing. I've seen them all in pictures, but it definitely gives a lot better look to the car, because obviously this being so big, the trunk, it needs something, and then that wing just complements it. The splats, I think that just adds another level to it. Looks super clean. And the side skirt as well, like obviously it doesn't have nothing in the front, just kind of roughly mocked up on there. I think it's gonna look really, really good. Like I said, front bumper I don't really need, it already has it. With all these other goodies on this thing's gonna look so cool. I can't wait to share it. It's gonna need a little bit of body work. I'm already seeing a little bit of waves, but that's obvious with fiberglass parts. But straight out of the box, they fit pretty decent. Still have to file the edges, get everything to fit really good. Once we do that, we'll do a nice thick round of primer, get that prepped out, then we'll paint it. We might have to pre-drill some areas where we're gonna fit the kit, where it's gonna be screwed onto the car, maybe some double-sided tape where it touches, just to add that clean look. The fun part is gonna be matching the color. Obviously this car has been painted. Probably end up doing some color chips, spray cards to make sure it looks really good, get that color exact. But overall I'm really happy, and I can't wait to work on this car. I don't think I've turned it on for you guys to listen to it. Right out of the gate, I already had some upgrades. Let me show you that. All right guys, so because I don't want to get hounded on the internet, but I did already warm her up, so she's warm. But check out the motor. It came obviously with this very bright green accent throughout, you know, but its engine bay is really clean. Has a Greddy front mount intercooler. It has coilovers, a couple little add-ons on it. It looks like some coil pack upgrades, some silicone hoses. But overall, it's really clean. The headlight looks like they're brand new before you put them on there. Obviously, got some new Advan wheels. Stance is good. I think I could probably lower it. I just came with some like new Recaro seats, quick release. He continued with the green theme, which is, I mean, it's cool, you know. But let's fire it up. She sounds good. Sheesh! Look at that turbo. So motor's healthy, sounds really good. I'm really happy, but obviously some and Mickey, correct me, he knows a lot about these cars. There's a lot of cool upgrades when it comes to the R Spec. It has these like little premium sound system. It has the boost gauge. It has a 6-speed transmission. Came with this aftermarket stereo, which is pretty cool. But overall, I mean, came with these Recaros. I don't think these are factory, but nonetheless, it's really clean. Momo steering wheel. I mean, the car is, for being a 99, it was really well kept, and it's a blast to drive. So nonetheless, let's get to it. We're gonna start probably working on the kit so we can get that fitted. I think once we get all that done, then we can work on to the brakes and get that ready to go. So let's do it. Oh, I want to show you a little something that is new. So let me go get the keys for that. All right, another quick thing before I show you the project. I think you guys have been seeing it behind me, but as you know, I'm gonna be updating the Silvia, getting it really good. I always like to make sure the cars are good. This thing's gonna be for sale, and the car I'm gonna show you will be for sale as well. We're gonna clean it up, fix it up. Got a good deal on it. My wife, actually, Adriana, wanted to kind of get into the car scene. You know, I was like, you know what would be good for you? A wagon, but not just any wagon. Feast your eyes on this 1999 Stagia R34 conversion. Sheesh! This thing, but I mean, a little crack there, but man, this thing has a body kit, some coilovers, painted Bayside blue, really clean. Obviously I can fix that. They sell the conversion fenders for it. I can probably get some new ones. The bumper's pretty messed up. I don't know if they did a little drifting with this thing or what they did. Obviously it's a little dirty, but the paint will clean up. But dude, look at this thing. This thing is tough, and it's not your normal RB in here. We got an RB26, boys. This is a Autech wagon, or special wagons. I have to find out the number of how many they produce, but these come with the factory RB26 twin turbo all-wheel drive wagon. So it's a GTR in its true form, a GTR wagon. Thing has been updated, as you can see. It has some upgraded things: Grady radiator, Grady intercooler, HKS intake pipes, and I believe, I don't know if you can see it on the wastegate center, but it's HKS turbo. So this thing sounds pretty good and performs really good. Obviously it needs some love, but let me start it up for you guys so you guys can check this thing out. All right, so I'll be doing a full video on this thing, but I just wanted to show you guys, give you a little preview of this thing. Interior's pretty clean. I don't know what they were thinking with the gauges there. Nonetheless, it's pretty cool. So let's start her up. Sheesh. It's pretty loud. Nice exhaust. It's pretty dope. Every time I see this thing, and literally it just came in maybe a week ago, so I haven't really posted nothing, so you guys will see it with this when I build the Silvia, but this thing's gonna be nuts. So we are gonna be doing some upgrades to it, like I said, from bumper, fixing that, probably doing a refresh paint on this thing. But hear this thing. My wife doesn't know how to drive stick, but she's gonna learn. She's gonna learn. And having the kids in the back going to car shows, can't wait to get that. Gotta get everybody's comments on that, but pretty cool. I'll leave you with that. Let's get back to the Silvia. All right, guys, so I got this, the S15, and we're gonna be starting on the bodywork of the kit. As you saw, I showed you guys the whole kit. Pretty good, but obviously now that we really start getting into it, we find a couple details with it. So once we kind of bolted it to the back bumper, the gaps are not quite there. Obviously, you know, once you kind of sand it, we had to add a little bit of fiberglass to that and kind of get this to be level with both sides. As you can see, kind of like a back view, is we had to make little brackets that attach to the bottom here to secure it, but there's a big gap here, so we're gonna have to fill this in with fiberglass to get it closer to the body so that it looks nice. So we're gonna be doing that to both pieces. The one thing we have now is with this body kit is this side kind of fits okay. Oscar, he's the body man here, and obviously, you know, as with fiberglass parts, they always need work. Yeah. They're never quite fitting. So now that I wanted to show you, this is kind of like a rough mock-up on this. The one thing that it goes into the jam, and I wanted to ask you, should we keep that extra into this, or should we trim it? Because see how it's like fitting here, or do you think it'd be better to trim this so that we kind of get away from this because it's kind of raised?
That's gonna be an issue. Yeah, I mean, you could cut it and then make brackets down below to hold it.
Because there is like a little gap between the rocker.
You can make brackets underneath it, and then, you know, mock it up to where it's less amount of stress on it, and then add a little fiberglass on the edge.
Just to kind of make it nice and tight.
Same thing on that, add a little bit of fiberglass on that edge. Because if you try to like, that's the thing with fiberglass, if you try to like push it and it's like always stress on it, it's gonna start to crack eventually.
And that's what we don't want. Yeah. Obviously we paint it, make it look nice, and
yeah. So I would do is I would trim that, because the thing is too, now you're having issues when you're closing the door. It's gonna always hit and stuff like that. So I would trim it and then just put double-sided tape underneath the lip right there,
just to make it clean.
Yeah, just to make it clean, and then just add fiberglass on those edges. A little bit of Marglass after that, Bondo, block it, heavy prime. And that should be good.
Okay, cool. Thank you, bro.
That's it.
Alright, so here's an update on the side skirts. We kind of got everything nice and fitted here. We're still gonna have to put a little bit of a Mar glass to kind of get this like a flat edge to put double-sided tape, but the pressure now is against it, so it's touching good. Obviously you're gonna have slight cracks with fiberglass, so we're gonna have to grind this out a little bit, sand it, and then do a little bit of reinforced fiberglass here. The one thing that's helping, Abraham made it some brackets that go under here. As you can see, it's pushing against the rocker and making this kind of, instead of like go like this, it's making it come out how it should, making contact here and doing the same on that side, which looks, you know, really good. The one thing too we had to do is we had to trim a little bit of this access that was hitting here, and we trimmed it. This used to actually, if you remember, it used to go up and over, right? But it was forcing itself, so we just trimmed it to this edge, which I think looks better. And we put just some self tappers for now, but we're gonna put rib nuts into this and put some nice like flat Allen to help support it, or depending on how everything fits, we can cover these up and put just double-sided underneath, and that'll make it nice. But obviously fiberglass has a flex, but with these it helps it really secure it. So we might end up keeping those, but just doing some nice hardware that's flat so you don't see it, because when you close the door you do see a little bit of it. But other than that, I'm liking how everything's fitting. These are fitted pretty good. We're gonna have to add a little bit of material here. Same with this side. We're mocking up this side, but now that we kind of got the gist of doing the brackets on that side, we're gonna do the same. They always crack right there. It's just like a weak point, so we're gonna have to reinforce that. But man, this thing's it's coming together, and it's looking really good. So I'm really excited to kind of see everything, and we'll block these out. Obviously get some body work on them, prime them, nice thick primer on these things, block them out, get them ready, get them ready for paint. The one last thing, the piece of the puzzle, is the big wang. Not my big wang, this big wang. So we still have to fit this piece on here, make the holes, brackets, do all that, but that'll be after we get this all squared away. What's up guys, we're working on the wing for the S15, and as I showed you, this thing's full fiberglass. Always we work on wide body stuff that's fiberglass, we're cool with it, but sometimes the parts that you get from, you know, depends on whoever does the fiberglass, sometimes they don't do a very good job of bonding the fiberglass, you would say. So when they make these pieces, they make them the top layer and the bottom layer, and they put it together. But as you can see, Mr. Renene is panel bonding it because it was separating. See how it's separating there? I mean, we made it separate like perfectly so we can reseal it, but the bond itself was not that great. So we're gonna go ahead and put some fuser panel bond in between it and push it into the gap, and that will hopefully solve that issue of it coming apart or cracking, that the wing could last so there's no cracks later on the paint. So we'll get that done, then we can finish off the body work, get this thing wrapped up.
Yeah, now I'm gonna finish everything.
Ya, hoy lo tienes que terminar, güey. Dice, tiene una puestita todo el taller, güey,
¿Qué?
que él va a terminar más primero que tú.
¿Sí?
¿Qué crees?
Ya ves, está ahí, no, volado.
Alright guys, now that we finished up the bodywork on the wing, obviously the wing needed quite a bit of work. It was separating, got it blocked out, primered, but the final step is cutting that hole. As you saw, we cut it a little bit smaller so that we can slowly put this piece, because it doesn't have any bracket. So this piece is just the lens that's going to be dropping into here. But as you can see, we still need quite a bit of cutting around here, so that basically we get it right to the edge, then we can bond that and then run electrical to the back, cut the hole in here, and then we could connect it in the trunk. So it's looking good. We'll get that wrapped up and then we can get it ready for paint. The guys have been putting in a lot of work. Big shout out to the guys and the crew trying to make this thing happen. We have everything ready for Richard to spray. We have the side skirts, got everything loaded up, ready, body worked and fitted. We got the aero wing. This whole kit's like the aero kit for the S15. So we got that, cut the hole out for third brake light, so that's ready to go. And we got the rear splats. And Richard has the color mix, so let's get the painting. Alright guys, as you know, we got all the parts painted for the S15. Really excited about that. Got the car up on the lift, and I want to finish up all the goodies that we have for the brakes and a little bit of accessories we got, but show you what we got. So I got everything laid out here. We're going to be replacing from Power Stop new front rotors, rear rotors, new pads. We also have like a shroud cooling plate that goes where the latch goes, so they help cooling, like, so the air that's coming in, it's kind of forcing everything through the radiator. We have a little bit of a carbon fiber accent for the exhaust. The third brake light, we still have to drill the holes on the trunk of the car, but I've never seen the underneath of this car, so this is the first time you're seeing it and I'm seeing it, which I'm afraid, because obviously Japanese cars always are rusty, but let's take a peek. So obviously we have the exhaust, which is a pretty nice piece, but it looks like, I don't know if it's just dark, but it looks like they might have done some kind of coating, which is cool. Obviously if they did a bad job or trying to hide something, it would show, but it looks really clean. See, like the rear end, the full exhaust is brand new. This thing's like cherry, but all the suspension components are super clean. The floor pans, everything's like solid on this thing. Yeah, the exhaust is Axe, I guess I would call it. Exhaust system, I think maybe what do they call it? D-Max exhaust system, which is a full turbo back exhaust, and I've never seen it. It's like almost like a valve. So like, I guess it's connected to when you give it gas, this valve opens, I suppose, but it's all fully stainless steel, really clean. Underneath the car, I mean, tranny is solid. There's no oil leaks. Everything's solid. The motor, nothing, man. This thing's super clean. Brand new coilovers on this thing. So now we know we have to slam this thing after we put the body kit on. But yeah, so I'm gonna take the wheels off, get the wheels off this thing. We're gonna take the front of all of them. That'll give us access to be able to put the body kit in and go ahead and swap out the new brakes and rotor, which is much needed on this thing. So let's take it off. Alright guys, as you know, it got a little late on me and I didn't have much light, but I got to install the rest of the brakes on this. Got a little daylight, so I wanted to show you guys how it turned out. Man, this thing looks really clean. So obviously we got our new rotors drilled and slotted. We got obviously new pads. Obviously they hadn't been changed in a while, or you know, that Japanese that sea life. And look at all the stuff that came out of it. A little bit of rust on the pads and the rotor, so I'll show you guys that in a moment, but yeah, it was pretty bad. We have our new rotors back here with new pads as well. Everything's gonna be nice, but yeah, man, these rotors, you can see like the flaking of the rust on this are pretty bad. That's what all came out of it. You can see all that. The pads were to its limit. I mean, they were pretty bad. Look at the front pads. Luckily I changed them, man. Look at it. It was right there. So we got all that changed, all the new rotors. Everything's on there. So I'm gonna be finishing putting on the body kit on this side, get everything secure. We'll throw the wheels back on it and then do our final little things and put the wing on, put the cooling plate on, and hopefully this thing will be ready for the weekend. We can showcase the new body kit on this thing and how it looks. It's coming out really good, so I'm really excited to show you guys. All right, so we got the wing, we got everything painted. It looks really good. Obviously, being that this is aftermarket, we ended up getting a new third brake light, but because there's no brackets, we're gonna end up just panel bonding the third brake light into the spoiler. Then from there, made a hole so we can feed the wires. And we still have to make the holes on the trunk, which it should be okay because they're already kind of pre-drilled. This car had those, but we're gonna get this panel bonded and we'll go to the car. Y el René es un experto en llenar hoyos. Es lo que he oído, ¿es cierto? ¿Dicen por ahí o qué? O si es la verdad, no sé. ¿Llenas hoyos o...?
Pues sí. De vez en cuando.
De vez en cuando llenas los hoyos. Sí, pues, ya estamos mirando, ahorita vamos a llenar un hoyo bien grande. No es nada para ver. Alright, so we got the wing mocked up. We got it mocked up here. We're gonna see where it's gonna land, and then we can drill the holes. Alright, so we got the wing mocked up. We use our little things to mark it. We pre-drilled. We're gonna open it up, see. Hopefully there's not a double metal, but if there is, it's all right. So
Este no nomás,
ahí.
pero el de aquí sí, aquí.
Nice, double metal. That means it'll just be more reinforced. It ain't going nowhere. Alright, so got a little late on us, but here's the next day, and this wing, sheesh, look at this thing. It makes the whole rear end of the car look totally different now. I mean, like that's what it needed, you know. It looks so good with the light and everything lined up pretty good. So couldn't be happier. Gonna finish bolting it up. We'll move on to the next thing. All right, guys, so we got everything done on this thing. The one last little thing that it needed, obviously, being that this has the aero kit on the front, they painted the whole bumper the color of the car, which is fine, but these have like a little line that kind of breaks it up and has like a little black lip. So we went ahead and masked it and painted it to give it that official look. Got it all painted up. I'm gonna do one more spray over it. We'll peel it off, but let me show you guys. Alright guys, so as you know, we finished up the Silvia S15. I finished all the goodies that I wanted to put on this car, and I couldn't be happier. We're at a prime little spot out here to do a little shoot. As you know, somebody, or you don't know, somebody's gonna come out and look at the R34, so I could be potentially selling that and having the S15 only. So I want you to comment below, if I do sell it, what car should I get? What JDM should I get next that you guys want to see on the channel? If I do sell that, I'll have some dough. I want to put it into another JDM because I want to be able to do like another build for that. So I want to hear you guys' input. Tell me what you guys think. But let me show you this thing. It's finished. You guys haven't seen it. Tell me what you guys think. So as you know, I went ahead and painted the front lip correctly how it should. We got new brakes and rotors throughout. We got the correct side skirts for the Spec R. Got the rear splats and got that wing. That wing I think just sets it completely off. Even the splats, everything just kind of brings it together. But that wing in itself I think completes the car. It had such a big trunk. So with that on there, just looks so good. I couldn't be happier, and now I get to enjoy it. You know, right now it's complete how I wanted it, so I get to drive it. So if the R34 is gone, this is gonna be my new daily. So let's go do some driving. All right guys, so I got back from driving this car. This car, I think, compared to the R34, is a little bit funner to drive. I don't know if I'll get, you know, hated on for that, but obviously the R34 has its own characteristics when you drive it. It's just more solid car. This is a little bit, I guess, would be more nimble. And being that it's more modified, obviously intercooler, full exhaust, turbo upgrade, obviously a little bit more pep in a step. Now that the R34 officially is gone, this is the car I'm gonna be driving in, and I think it looks really good now with the kit. Tell me, like this thing with the front end, and obviously the side skirt, the correct side skirt, because obviously this is a Spec R kit that comes with it. Even though it's a replica kit, but we obviously did all the body work to get this thing fitted, the wing, everything to fit this car how it should. You know, you see other cars that are out there in the market, obviously this one's for sale too, is that a lot of them have like these bigger like body kits that it's just maybe too much, or is more like a drift spec. But with this, I think it's just clean. I don't think I've ever seen, I mean, even though it's my car, a clean S15 like this in a while, even at like car shows or whatever. So I'm really happy with it. It's rust free, it's super clean. Like even the interior, obviously I don't know if anybody will like, I guess the little green aspects or little accents that it has, but I mean, it's with the car. I'm gonna leave it obviously, and obviously whoever buys it, they can change it to their personal preference, but it's just something that's really
I'm sad to see this one go.
all right. I mean, what do you think, Oscar? You kind of seen the process of this thing, like it really needed that kit, like it kind of was naked, you know.
I mean, but besides that, the car was like really clean. And you know what's funny, before I got my R34, I told you what I want, S15.
He did say that.
And I was like, and then when he got it, I was like, oh my God, this thing is fucking clean. Like, and you know how like, when you're a car guy, there's so many things that you can do to a car and you want to do things, but I was like dude, this one's kind of like clean. Only thing it just needs is like, you know, it being a real Spec R is that you need to complete it with the Spec R kit. Yeah. And so, I mean, maybe a different set of wheels, but those wheels are clean. Yeah. And then because it is for sale, why are you gonna spend more money on them? Stuff like that. But like, I mean, I drove this car, you drove this car. I mean, what do you think? I mean, this is probably like the perfect turnkey car.
It was. I mean, like buying it obviously without seeing it from Japan was kind of scary, you know. But once we got it, like even, I mean, if you guys see the video before this, like this thing was like off the ship, was like super clean, right? And remember, you got it off the trailer, you got to see it.
The cleanest car that I've ever seen come out of Japan, just like out of an auction. Ever.
For real.
Ever. Like, I think, I don't know if they know about your other project that you got going on behind the scenes right now, but as far as like turnkey off the dock, like this thing was probably the cleanest. Like,
it was.
I think I was the first one to rip it on this thing.
Actually, you were, yeah. He got it off the trailer. I go, Oscar, I'm gonna take it for a drive, and him and Kevin went out. And,
yeah, this thing is as clean as it gets, and I don't know if you have it sold yet, but whoever picks this one up is very lucky. The R34 went super fast. Like I feel like you didn't have it for no time.
I didn't have but I got to enjoy it, but like it was, you know, it did go pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like now the market, there's more cars kind of bringing
momentum, and the people. I think what was like kind of like the hard thing is like, how do you register these things? Us being in California, like we're not like the other states that you can do whatever the heck you want. It's a little bit more gray area, but you know, we're the plug if you guys need anything JDM. So if you're looking for any type of JDM cars, hit us up, hit up Saul, and he'll make sure he gets you right. So I'm gonna miss it, man. I would say, let me take it for one more spin, but I don't want to jinx it. So you know, whoever buys it, they can do the honor.
What's up, guys? So as you know, I posted up the S15 up for sale. This thing looks really good, and you get to see a lot of different ones up in the internet. You don't know what you're really getting, but I know I have a super clean S15. I have a customer here, Jay, to take a look at it. We made a deal. So now I don't have a JDM car, so what do you guys want to see on the channel? And I want to get his take and kind of see what he's been looking at and the process of that. So here's a beauty. Here's Jay. What's up, Jay, man? How you doing?
My man, this guy's making my childhood dream come true. I saw this thing 2 months ago, and I couldn't afford it at the time, and I just want to thank you, bro. Like, seriously, it just had my 5-year cancer anniversary. This is a gift to myself, and it's a surreal moment.
That's badass.
It's crazy. It doesn't feel real.
And tell me about it, like, because we're kind of talking off camera. We're saying, like, you know, you went through the process of kind of like looking at quite a couple of them and see what
18
of them.
18 cars, over 10 PPIs in Japan. Everything was coming back rusty.
Yep.
I knew this was clean from the day I saw it on your original vlog, picking it up. And I was like, damn, I wish this was mine. And it is.
That's good. It seems like that realization of like
just like manifesting it and just like being patient.
And that's cool. Like, so we were like kind of like talking about it. It was like, yeah, I went to go see all kinds of different ones. Even for me, like to see this car when I first got it, it was kind of a scare because obviously think about it. I never bought a car, especially in Japan, and getting them, and, you know, and
we were pulling flakes of rust this big.
That's pretty bad.
Holes this big in the frame, bro. It was crazy.
So imagine, okay, I see that stuff every day with cars. So like, I'm like, am I gonna get a clean one? Like, how is it gonna come? But even when it came, like, it like I was really surprised how clean it was.
Out. If you pull the trigger, your boy did. Because this thing, you'll see. If you're in the market for one, you'll go through what I did, and
it won't be this clean. You know
never,
what I mean? You
never.
know, and that was like the whole thing with this was like just driving it, and like, you know, you brought your boys along, and you know, Mr. Tell who.
We got a little Formula Drift Pro driver, Mike Power, my buddy BJ.
Look at that! Look at Mike Powers over there.
A little shameless plug,
right?
Hello, S15 owner.
Yeah, see, he knows, right? Okay, I kind of know about cars, right? But we were looking at a valve when we had it up in the air, and we thought it was like, for me, I thought it was like maybe cable driven or something. I was like, he's like, yeah, well, that's kind of weird. How does they open? I was like, I don't know. It sounds cool, you know. And so we were trying to pop the hood. We found a little something. So we found the actual valve. It's almost like a, I guess, a diverter valve that would, right?
It's almost like a cutoff for the flow of the exhaust.
Yeah.
So you can actually, it doesn't have one setting. You can actually adjust it like a butterfly valve to change how loud the exhaust is overall. So you don't have to go full quiet. You can go in the middle.
You could do hybrid mode.
I've never seen anything like it. I was like, is this an aftermarket like hood cable? And I was like pulling it, and then I let it go, and I heard like a ting, and I was like, wait. I was like, That's gotta be the exhaust.
And we
cool.
tried it right now, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, that's pretty quiet.
Crazy.
Like, you know, so, you know, it was a surprise for me, like, obviously to find that out. The car's gonna leave, so I'm gonna have to walk home today. Or maybe I'm gonna have to get an Uber. To get me a ride. But we went for a drive, you know, like, I'm really happy, you know, it's going to somebody, you know, Jay and his story, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is like, I mean, the passion for cars and building them up, and being this one of my dream cars to have, but to be able to pass it to somebody else that shares that same passion for the cars and a good story behind it is, I mean, I couldn't have gave it to anybody but better than Jay, and I'm sure he's gonna really enjoy it, take care of it, and it's still gonna be local. So I still get to go, hey man, can I come check it out, or
I'll
or
come
something
down
like that?
here.
You know
I got
what
a
I mean?
YouTube channel, so
So,
we'll be
yeah, we'll
collaborating.
collab and
Hopefully
stuff.
one
Hell
day
yeah.
pull up to a show together, and yeah, everyone's got to see this thing because it, hands down, I'm not playing. This thing is the cleanest we have looked at.
So that's good. That's good to hear, because
Mind blown.
I was like, I've seen them and they're not, but I'm happy it's going to him. I want to really hear that exhaust, because that's something I didn't even try out. I want to see how quiet that thing is, because I was like, what the hell? I could have been like afraid of cops and turned it down or something. I didn't even know, but let's go check that out. And then I'll have you. All right, so this is a little valve we found out here. So that's obviously full open. So do a couple revs. All right, so give it the quiet neighborhood. All right, see?
Hear it.
All right, see that? Yeah, you can change whatever modes you like it, you know? Yeah, you see that? It sounds like stock awesome. There you go, see? And you can tone it to whatever you want, you know?
What exhaust, cop?
Right? Exactly.
Officer, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not loud at all.
Bro, that's crazy.
That's dope, right?
It's a little Easter egg.
Easter egg,
Yeah, bro, that's dope.
So right now Jay's gonna get it ready. I think they have their trailer, so I'm gonna help them load this thing up. Sad to see it go, but I'm happy it's going to somebody that's gonna appreciate and love it. So yeah. So I want to hear from you guys. Comment below. Tell me what you guys think. What's the next? Should I look for another one? R34, Skyline, Chaser, NSX, Supra. I don't know. I want to hear from you guys, but definitely one I'm gonna miss. This thing is super clean. Really happy. And hit up your boy if you guys are interested in importing a car. I can help you guys out with that. Big shout out to Performance Registration. They've been taking care of all registration for all the JDMs I've been doing, and for other customers I refer them to. So big ups to them, and we'll get this thing loaded up. So. You're gonna break this thing in once.
Nah, this ain't mine. I ain't touching it. He'll get one good look at my car and be like, stay away from mine.
Stay away from mine.
I don't want the quarters cut off. I don't want it wide body. I don't want a TJ in it. So we'll let him do it. But I'll help him with anything he needs.
There you go. Has he ridden in your car?
No.
Oh, okay. You probably scared the shit out of him.
That will happen soon. We'll make sure you get that on video.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. But it's cool, man, that you come out and obviously you know these cars.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
you know this chassis, so
Yeah, I've
it's
been
cool to
around
see
them.
like you see like the good, the bad.
Yeah.
You know, so it's cool that you got to. You're like, oh shit, this thing's pretty clean.
Yeah, he knew I'd have a good idea of like what I'm looking at, and I've experienced like even my own cars and stuff that I bought and S chassis, let alone like you know what to look for after a little while. So Jay's a good guy. I wanted to come out and just make sure that he was getting into a good car, and honestly, this thing is gorgeous. So he got a good car.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. It's crazy, man. It's like kind of surreal too, like getting rid of this car. It's been obviously a dream of mine to own a car like this and to get to enjoy it. And I mean, I didn't think I was gonna sell it today, to tell you the truth. When you make a deal, you make a deal. And he's like, hey, I'll give you a deal now. I take it now. I was like, man, I didn't even see a trailer pull up, so I didn't know they were like ready to go. But hey, that's the name of the game. That's why I listed it. So it's on to Jay. I hope he enjoys it. If you'd like to see this type of content here at the channel, and maybe we're gonna work together with Jay, so I'm really excited from this sale can start a cool relationship in that aspect. So I'm sad to see it go, but I'm happy it's going to somebody deserving, and obviously, you know, the whole story behind it. So I love it. She's leaving. It is what it is. I miss you. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. On this stuff, we have new videos coming up. We have some crazy content coming soon. Something very special. Can't really say, but it's a collaboration with me, my brother, and somebody else, and we're gonna be building something cool. So I want you guys to stay tuned. Now that I got this, I still have a little bit something up my sleeve that that got imported too. I can say that it has RB26 in it. So, but that's all I'll give. We'll see you on the next one. So, all right, the last thing, obviously you can't go home without these. So, Jay,
Can't. Thank you for passing the torch, my man.
There it is, man. Enjoy
Appreciate you. Doesn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real.
Right? It's gonna
Until
hit
it's
later.
in the garage.
Yeah,
It's still
when
not
gonna
mine.
hit.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
See ya, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Here at SOS Customz, we got you covered. Peace.
I like this.
That's what
Cool that it went to him too. He
know?
said it's his cancer present.
Yeah.
Surviving cancer, so
It went to like a good cause. Like, you know, obviously the cool thing
it's almost
is that-
bittersweet though, right?
Yeah.
That thing looks good. That's fine. And your 34 is gone too? Gone officially, like out of here? Picked it
I
up?
went to Orange County.
Oh damn, they didn't go far.
This one también was not that
Orange County?
or Costa Mesa.
He's got discipline because I'd want to drive it, but I get it. It's not worth the risk.
Yeah.
I like it.
So here at SOS Customz, got you covered. Peace.